you know.
Well, here, let me hit you with another one that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come to us and they ask the question, it's like, well, you know, this adaptive contrast, this altitude, why would I want that? I'm not an athlete. And I know what I see, which is when I work with people having that adaptive switch, especially if they're exertion limited. So what's your experience in terms of working with people that are challenged with the adaptive contrast feature?
You know, I've had people just kind of stand on my micro impact platform, breathe the oxygen and play with the altitude contrast to start. Just anything to get the body moving, even if it's a micro impact vertical compression sort of thing. Anything to get some body moving, gets the heart rate up a little bit. Anything that helps increase the turbulent flow is going to provide that pulse pressure differential that increases the oxygen saturation and increases the driving force. So many of our folks are clamped down on their vasculature. I mean, you hold their hands and you feel like they've just taken them out of the freezer. Mm-hmm. I mean, so much so that the pulse ox doesn't even register. It's like, no, this guy's dead. Okay. Just doing the adaptive contrast, even if they're not exercising vigorously, we're starting to oxygenate those tissues. And then when they start exercising, you get the real dramatic results, because then you've increased the pulse pressure and you're actually forcing that oxygen down into those restricted areas. You start that flushing thing, and I will warn people that are environmentally ill and have high body burden of toxins. When we start, I tell them when they come here for the first week, I say, you're not going to like me very much by the end of the first week. But by the end of the second week, you're going to think that, you know, you're going to be thinking differently. And so there are things that you can do in addition to the LiveO2 to kind of prep the body to handle it. So we'll give people a binding agent, to help bind some of the stuff so it doesn't get re-released into the bloodstream. Before, when they get out of the sauna, we'll give them some vitamin C and an alkalizing agent to help replace the electrolytes and help keep things moving. You know, water is always encouraged. Niacin has been helpful in getting some initial vasodilatation to increase that turbulent flow a little bit more easily. So there are other little workarounds that you can do for the folks that just like, I can't even imagine walking to the end of the mailbox, much less, 15 minutes on a treadmill or a bike. There are other things that we can do to help chemically imitate that, as well as do the altitude contrast.